You don't have like a Halloween mask or a paper bag?
Can be MEO.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Brandon. Don't be so hard on yourself. But maybe a paper bag. That'd be it. That'd do it, right?
Paper sack Brandon.
Yes.
Paper sack Brandon.
It's kind of like retro Brandon.
All right.
All right, so recently we've been playing so many games with these amazing characters, and we're going to get into all of that. But this episode, primarily, we're going to talk about some of our favorite characters that we have ever experienced in a JRPG, specifically heroes. But before we get into it, I gotta tell you guys this story. So, last episode, you guys were giving me a hard time about, whether or not I should play. Oh my gosh, I almost said Sound Shapes, Unicorn Overlord. And it was crazy. So I started playing Unicorn Overlord, right? And I was like, okay, I don't have any high expectations because Mags, hates the story apparently.
Trashed
But the
it.
story was so good. Not only was it the greatest story of all time,
Ever told.
it literally blew me away so hard that my beard fell off, guys. Like you thought I shaved. It was Unicorn Overlord.
Blew his beard off.
And it's incredible. So don't worry, everybody. The beard will grow back one day. But
when he finishes
Unicorn Overlord is so freaking good, man. It is the greatest story I've ever experienced in my entire life. So I'm sorry, Mags, but you can't argue with this.
I wouldn't dare try.
Welcome, everybody. Moogle Mags, how are you doing?
Moogle Mags is good. I've got my hat with the Moogle on it, just to, really embody the new name.
Love the hat, by the way.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
So good.
It's such a cool hat. In fact, it was worth playing Final Fantasy 14 for. So that was great. It was a good time.
Just the hat.
Shout out to Sean and Jason for that help in the raid, because we wouldn't have made it otherwise. But yeah, I'm doing good. Just super happy because the Trails in the Sky demo dropped earlier this week, and it's just been super fun to get to play that game and just see all the cool stuff Falcom has put together in that. And so I've just really been playing that and enjoying every moment and taking my time. Yeah, it's been a great time so far.
Yeah.
What about you, Slam? What's going on, homie?
So yeah, I have been just like all trailsed out, like for real, man. I started Cold Steel, not anticipating they were just going to surprise drop this demo for Trails in the Sky. So I reached about 15 hours into Cold Steel, and I'm like slow playing this game. I feel like I have not progressed the story at all because I just keep doing all of the stuff they introduce as they introduce it. Like they introduced fishing, and I just fished so much. And then I talked to like all the people in every town, and then I grind a bit and try to get used to the combat system and everything like that. And yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun in the game. Really, really enjoying it. But then they dropped the demo to first chapter. So of course I stayed up all night and played the demo for maybe 3 hours straight. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm shocked at how good it is. It's unbelievable because yes, I anticipated it being good. All the trailers showed us that it would be good, but I just didn't expect that we would have all of this amazing stuff in it. That the voice acting, the performance, everything, great. Loved it so far. What
So
about
good.
you, Brandon?
I'm sorry, Slam. I was momentarily distracted there because that mosquito that you keep telling us is attacking you, I've seen it fly by your camera twice now.
Yeah, I've been
so
I'm being hunted by a mosquito, if you didn't know. It's in my house.
it's real.
I
and
can't
it's taunting
find it
you.
and kill it, but it's there. It's buzzing around me.
Well, of course, for
Can't
me,
escape.
greatest story ever told, Unicorn Overlord. It's been a great time so far. Having a good time with that one. I am so excited about Trails in the Sky. I'm so excited about it, but I am grumpy because Nintendo. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you like? first you got the key card situation. Like we've talked about that enough. But then you're like, all right, there's this RPG that everybody's super hyped about, and it looks incredible. And it's coming to the Switch. It's coming someday. We won't tell you. The demo, it'll show up someday. But if you want to play it, we want you to go take your business over to Sony. I don't understand. I want to support the Switch. I want to. I want to so bad.
Didn't they say it was releasing day and date on the Switch though?
Just the demo.
Yeah.
The demo. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, the game is for sure.
The demo, it's not just a demo though, right? Like if it was just like a random demo, like here's 2 hours of Trails in the Sky, fine. But it's 8
really
hours. It's the prologue, and it transfers into the main game. So like if I'm going to invest all of my time in the prologue, and I know it's going to transfer the main game, and I have to start on the PS5, like what am I more likely to do? Probably buy it on the PS5. So anyway.
That's fair.
That made me grumpy, but I did play it. I did start it, and it is really, really good. It is unbelievably beautiful. It's crazy. Like I didn't finish Trails in the Sky back in the day, but I played enough of it, and it was memorable enough that even just the intro, like the cabin you start in, going to the first town, all of that, just seeing it the way it is now, I was just like, this is wild. Like, and it's beautiful and it's seamless. Oh, it's so good. I'm so impressed so far. So, and the battle system is very different than the original, but it's really cool going from like that action to turn-based thing. I'm still kind of getting used to it because I think Metaphor did that, but I haven't played Metaphor.
It wasn't as seamless, right? Because I think the thing that I love most about Trails right now, especially because you're talking to somebody who hasn't like had a ton of experience with Daybreak 2 and stuff like that. Yes, I played it probably more than I should have for having not finished Cold Steel. But,
yeah, you did.
But that combat style is so smooth and so seamless. It's like you hot swap between turn-based and action combat just so naturally. It's almost as if it's not even happening. Like it's so crazy the way it works. And
and the alignment and stuff, you can like move the characters around and position well, and it's so smooth. Yeah,
it's a really fun gameplay hook. It's so like deep and strategic. It really is. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. And I think that, it was really easy to get hooked into playing that, especially when it opens up and you get to go out and explore and just wreck stuff. That I was like, oh yeah,
that's where I'm at in the demo.
Having way too much fun with this right now.
Yeah, it's really cool. It takes like some of the best parts of systems from like I guess it's not earlier Trails games, but the ones that were made before this remake. So it has Daybreak's action, like turn-based hybrid system where the point is to really like hit the enemy and stun them, then turn into turn-based mode to get an advantage. And then it also has like the link attacks that are in Cold Steel where you can, get a critical and then attack again and again and again to maximize your damage. So that is really cool that they've kind of combined like the parts that people love the most from the different arcs into like this system. So I was kind of surprised. I didn't realize they were going to have elements of Cold Steel's combat in there, but it works so well.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, and it's kind of nice too because as like I leveled up a little bit, I'm only in the beginning. Like I just became a bracer and I'm just going to the tower, so I'm just there.
Oh, congrats! You're a bracer now.
Thank you, a junior bracer, but I'll take it. Yeah, I thought it was interesting too because as I leveled up a little bit, you can just like when you find certain enemies, you can just kind of beat them down in action mode quickly too. If you don't want to get into the full turn base as well. If it's like a bigger group, then it's to your advantage. But there's some cases where you can just breeze through them, and that kind of thing. It's just the beginning, and I'm like the implications of the pacing for this are incredible. Like I'm super excited to see where this goes. Hopefully on the Switch too, Nintendo. But yeah,
I really want to see how it performs there.
Me too.
I haven't been like the Switch ports have been hit or miss or Switch 2 ports have been hit or miss. Some are like incredible, amazing, and you are shocked at how they perform because of the effort that they put into it. And some of them are just really bad, and just look like the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2. So I'm loving how it's performing on the PS5. It's great.
Yeah, it is really nice on there. And, you know, the past couple of Switch ports for like Falcom's most recent games have not been great. Yeah. But the Trails in the Sky remake, I feel like it uses that engine in a little bit of a different way, kind of more so like East 10 did. And that was a little better on Switch compared to like Trails Through Daybreak. Those games were terrible on Switch.
Daybreak.
So I don't know. It's just, it didn't translate well to the Switch at all. So I'm hoping that this will be better because this game was announced at a Direct.
Yeah,
so
it was.
I feel like they really need to make it good for the Switch audience because that's who they need to pull in. Personally, I think if they want to succeed, that's who they need to pull in. So
that just makes it even worse that it was.
Brandon is so mad at the Switch 2 right now.
He's so mad. He's gonna crash out.
He is.
Well, it's like
here it comes.
Like I want to support. I want the Switch 2 to do well, and it's like whoever's in charge over there is just, I don't know. They need to figure their stuff out. I'll just leave it at that. Maybe I might come back to it, but for now,
You'll come back.
We'll see.
Yeah, there's no maybe. What are you talking about?
I do have to say because we have talked about the key card situation on several episodes, I am finding it super interesting that we are starting to actually see a shift. It's a weird shift right now, but it's a shift where a lot of developers are starting to move away from key cards and just saying like, okay, we're just going to give you a Switch version, and here is a path to the Switch 2 version for now.
Yeah, digital only.
Yeah.
Which it is a step forward. I think I'm still hoping we see actual like Switch 2 boxes with cartridges that are actual games, but it does seem like developers are getting the message, and that's encouraging because we just didn't know if that was going to happen, right? When we first started talking about this, it was like, hey, this might just be what the future holds, and we just have to deal with it. And it seems like we are actually starting to pivot. So I'm glad to see that there is some movement there, and hopefully we can land on just straight up Switch 2 versions that are on cartridge, and that just becomes the norm. Hopefully we see that in the future. But yeah, otherwise, Trails in the Sky, the demo is incredible, and I'm very excited to see that one coming out.
Yeah, I agree. I think
me too.
It's one of the best things I've played this year. I was like, this is like game of the year material to me. I
told you guys it was game of the year.
This is
in a previous episode. I said it.
Yeah, you totally called it. You totally called it.
Yeah, but that's because it's you, Mags.
Well, I love
I'm still
Trails
right.
of the Sky too.
I'm still right.
Yes, and I still have Trails of the Sky as one of the best JRPGs ever made and one of my favorite games of all time. If you go back and watch some of my videos, it's in most of my lists. And I would say this being just such an crazy improved version of one of the best games ever made is nuts. It's so wild to see. I didn't expect this to happen at this level. You know, I expected like the remake to be a nice reimagining. I was kind of just expecting like Sky and the Daybreak engine, but I do feel more than that. I feel like this is more than that. There's more to it. They really put a lot of love into this. It was not just a low effort thing. This was really, they knew how important this would be to the fans, and they delivered. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. And I feel like this, for me anyway, this kind of like sets the standard for what a good remake should look like. Like if you're not going to go full Final Fantasy VII remake and turn it into something like way beyond what the original had, this is just like it is just a genuinely amazing remake. It looks so clean. It looks so good. They built off the foundation of the series as it is right now. Like you said, Mags, the way they did the combat system is taking from different parts of the series that work really well. They built something new with it, but it's not like reinventing the wheel. I love that kind of thing. Like if we want to see remakes of other games in the future, not just ports or remasters, but like actual remakes. I feel like this is a gold standard example of how you can do it well, perhaps without breaking the bank or reinventing the wheel completely.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for the future of Trails, because of course I've heard from you guys that once you finish this one, you're going to want to dive right into the second one. So hopefully we see that one sooner than later. But I also hope this is one of those remakes that kind of quietly pushes the industry forward. We'll see. I hope the sales are crazy for this one, because I think even just from the demo alone, I think it deserves it. But time will tell. I'll be interested to follow this once they get to release.
I mean, I think the sales will be good. I think it'll be a lot better than most people suspect, especially since one of the biggest factors blocking new people into the Trail series is the fact that they can't go back and play the other ones, or it's difficult for them to.
Yeah.
This is it, man. Everybody is so excited to get into this series that everyone talks about, right? This is it. This is the first game. This is the best time to start it, the best place to start it. So many JRPG fans are going to be so happy with this game.
Yeah, dude. We are eating good these next few months. Let me tell you.
The sky is the limit for this game, right?
Did you see that? She was like preparing. Her face was like preparing for that when she's like, "Oh, I got a zinger. Oh, it's coming." Oh my goodness.
Had to say it.
Love it.
But kind of like speaking again to the sales, I think some issues that Falcom has had with some of the more recent Trails games is that they're so far into the series that like less people are buying them because they're not caught up, and it's a very daunting thing. So this one doesn't have that issue. Like you can just buy this one without the worry of like, oh, am I even going to understand what's happening because I've not played the other games, or, I haven't played this one or that one. So I don't know. I feel like this one has a lot of potential because you don't have that barrier to entry that you would if you were going to try to like sell like Daybreak 2 or something where you have to play so many games to even really understand what's going on in that one.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, this is a good one. I'm excited. Also, I forgot to say this in the beginning, but I'm just going to throw it here before we dive into the actual topic. We opened a Discord for the Level Up Legacy podcast. If you're watching this and you are not in the Discord and you want to jump in and have these conversations with us, we are having these conversations actively with a bunch of our awesome peeps that have come in. It's an amazing server. There's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of fun. Shout outs to everybody who has joined us so far. We love you guys. We're having so much fun over there. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, I'll leave a link. I'll leave a link in the description. So
awesome. Yeah, and because of awesome games like this and the characters that come with them that we love, we wanted to talk about our favorite heroes or heroines from games. We're only choosing 3. So there are going to be a ton of amazing characters that we could have talked about here. Talking about them in this episode is not because we think other characters are worse necessarily. We just picked 3 that we wanted to highlight for a variety of reasons. So we're going to go around and chat about some of those things. And Mags, we're going to start with you this time.
Before we get started, I want to say, because we made an announcement with the launch of the podcast last week on Twitter. For those of you that don't follow us on Twitter and see us here, Mags is a permanent member on Level Up Legacy. She will be here every week to talk with us. So congrats, Mags. We are so happy to have you. Thrilled, I might say, to have you here. You've been a pleasure the whole time on the last several episodes. And I think the podcast is so much better for having you on.
Oh, thanks. Well, I'm super happy to be here, guys. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. Now, what's your first?
Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep the Trails theme going because that's who I am and I can't be anyone else. So I'm going to go with Estelle Bright, the protagonist of Trails in the Sky. She is just one of my all-time favorite characters of all time, like in the Trail series, but just often like beyond that too. Like she's just one of the best main characters ever in games. And I'm so excited because there's going to be a lot of people now who get to meet her for the first time and get to see her story for the first time with the remake. She's just Bestel, as she's known in the Trails community.
Yeah.
And she's also known as, she's known as Bestel, and she's also known as the Sun. And I don't want to explain why she's known as that, because you'll find out when you play the game. But I think it's a nickname that suits her really well, because she is a light to really everyone. She's funny, she's kind of goofy, she makes mistakes, but she's also just really kind to people, and she brings that light to whoever she's interacting with, like throughout her story. And she goes through a lot. I don't think it's a spoiler to say that as you play through the Sky games, like Estelle starts out as this like kind of small town girl, because that's where she grew up in Liberl. And as she sees more of the country, she learns a lot more and kind of learns about the issues with society in Liberl and the problems that this country faces, and also the problems that it faces from like outside entities as well. And you get to see her learn about it. You get to see her mature, kind of just learn how the world works. And she has a great journey like throughout the games that she's in. And she does grow and change, but I think one really cool part about her is that she also still remains true to herself in the process. Like, she's still Estelle. She's still going to be yelling out funny things. She's still going to hit people with her big stick if they, annoy her too much. She's just great. And I love playing as her when I play Trails in the Sky, and I want to be more like her. So that is why she's one of my faves.
She's a great pick. I think, one of the most appealing aspects of Estelle is just that she's not generic in any way whatsoever. No. She is not like, especially when you think back to what was it, like the early 2000s, when a lot of the JRPGs that were coming out were, a lot of the heroes had like this very tropey aspect to them, whereas Estelle is just a very unique individual with a very unique story, a lot of unique dialogue that's really well written. And I just think it's an amazing choice for a million reasons, but there's no one like Estelle out there for sure. So yeah, I'm with you.
Even the first three A Legend of Heroes games before Trails came in were pretty generic. I remember enjoying them on the PSP, but like none of those characters were memorable for me. And that's not because I didn't enjoy my time. It just kind of was of that era.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking that Bestel is almost as good as Slam Zangel, right?
Zangel. Yeah. Amazing name, dude.
We've all had some fun with names this week. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Slam Zangel. What's your first pick?
Sure. I'll go ahead and I'll kick it off with Ichiban. I wasn't like the hugest Yakuza fan. I play a couple of games here and there. Didn't really finish many of them. I'm not a huge like action, like beat 'em up type gamer, so I don't play a lot of those games. And so when they announced that Like a Dragon was coming out, when kind of a new crew, new protagonist, turn-based combat, I was like, you know what? That seems like my jam. So I'm going to go ahead and try that out. Picked up Like a Dragon and fell in love with Ichiban immediately. This guy is hilarious. And he's obsessed with Dragon Quest and basically lives his whole life around that and mentions it constantly at the most random times when you don't expect it. I love it so much. And he basically starts off as this like super loyal, low-ranking member of the Yakuza who ends up being shafted and spends a bunch of time in jail for something he didn't do for the Yakuza, and then gets out and they kind of screw him over and he's out on his own. Well, it's basically a story of you kind of like in the first game you just kind of get to know Ichiban and like his crew, and like he grows a lot throughout the story. The gameplay is awesome, and I felt like that game specifically, and I've gone back and played some other Yakuza games, but I felt like that game specifically fed all of its elements around like the characters in the game. So like the different move sets they had and stuff, and the turn-based combat fed into like their lifestyle and their background and their personalities. And I really liked that. Infinite Wealth did it even better and was even more hilarious. And Ichiban was even more up to Ichiban things in that game. And so, yeah, he's one of my favorite protagonist heroes in a JRPG. I just think he's so cool. He's hilarious. He's funny. He's outgoing. He's charismatic. And yeah, definitely is what got me into the Yakuza series. And I've gone back, like I said, I've gone back and played a few of the other games, and they just haven't hit the same because the bar is set so high for the Like a Dragon games for me. They're still good. They're still decent, but nothing beats those games for me.
That's a good one. I haven't actually gone to. I have all of the Yakuza games because, of course, I do, but I have not actually played any of them.
Least surprising thing ever.
So, yeah. So maybe one day. Look, if you can get me to play Sound Shapes, but first I need to get through the greatest story ever told. So
Unicorn Overlord.
Once we get there,
we need like one of those sound buttons that plays like Unicorn Overlord really dramatically every time Brandon says the best story ever told.
Unicorn Overlord. That's amazing. Yeah, let's get a soundboard, baby. Let's go. That's the next step.
Yeah, don't worry.
Level
I'm
Up
on
Legacy
it.
podcast.
Give me a week or so.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good one though. I've heard those games are hilarious, so I would love to actually check.
Yeah,
that out.
you gotta play them. They're really good, man.
Yeah,
I think you'd like them.
They're definitely on my list too, and I've heard so many good things about Ichiban. Like, I just feel like he's just such a good guy, and I've never heard like a negative thing about him. So
yeah,
hopefully
he's got
one day.
good intentions. And those side games, man. If you guys like little side activities, the Like a Dragon games, you could get absolutely lost in. Basically, in Infinite Wealth, you basically have an Animal Crossing game in it. Like you manage and build a hotel resort.
Isn't
that's scary to me because I'd get sucked into that.
Oh, I did. It's
I
almost
would not play the regular game.
The whole game. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous to me.
Have a Dragon Quest game in it?
Something kind of like that, but
I think one of them actually had a Dragon Quest game.
I think it might have. It might have in an arcade. So then,
okay.
There's a bunch of them. They're almost hard to keep track of, but there's always one big major one that can actually take over the whole game. And the first Like a Dragon, I think, was like this business management sim, but I can't remember what it was because it's been a really long time since I played it. But the Infinite Wealth one, the hotel resort, like running around Hawaii managing a hotel resort on an island, dude. I was like, maybe
so
someday I'll decide to finish this story, which is actually really good, by the way. Mm-hmm. But the side activities are just that good. They're just that good.
That's wild. It's crazy that those games like have so much content in them.
Oh,
I feel like they're
ridiculous.
So underrated because of that.
So ridiculous. You spend hundreds of hours in those games and just get lost and live in them. It's ridiculous.
Oh man. All right. For me, so there's like 1,000 characters that I wanted to go with here. I decided to go with some characters that I think are maybe underappreciated, or they probably wouldn't come up as often. So like, you're always going to hear like whatever Cloud or Sora or Shulk or something like that. But to kick off my list, I want to talk about Mio from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And I could talk about any of the characters from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That entire cast is incredible. But Mio in particular, if you're not familiar with Xenoblade Chronicles 3, the concept of the game that you're introduced to is that you have these two major factions at war constantly, and you have these people who only live within a 10-year cycle. And they either die in war or they live till their 10th year and then they're sent, right? And that's kind of the end. So it raises all of these questions of like, what do you do in this short period of time? Like, what matters? What is life? What am I doing with my life? What is legacy? Like, there's all of these very deep philosophical questions that you're immediately grappling with because of this situation that you're in with the story. And of course, the characters early on start to kind of forge their own path forward because you have two sets of characters from the different nations, Kevis and Agnes, and they meet together and form the party that is your cast in Xenoblade, and then they move forward. But Mio is almost at year 10. She is one of the oldest characters in the group. I think she's the oldest one.
She is.
And so there is so much depth with her character and strength with her character, because she's not only forging ahead and challenging her assumptions and her beliefs and all these things like the other characters, but she's doing it with very little time left and having to grapple with that reality. And that element of her character makes for some of the most in-depth, emotional, and beautiful moments in the entire game. Like, I can't spoil anything because I feel like everybody needs to play this game. It's one of the greatest games ever.
It is.
And
Truth.
and there's so much to discover. But just Mio, the character, in the circumstances that she has, she's so amazing. She carries so much on her shoulders. She cares so well for the other cast, the rest of the cast. Like, she's just like one of the best protagonists in any game. And that's not to, again, speak poorly of any of the other casts. It's just that she is like uniquely positioned to play the role that she plays in that game. And it is so freaking good.
Her gameplay is
I had
also,
to shout out Mio.
Yeah, her gameplay also.
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
Like,
Evasion
one of
tank
the best.
queen.
Yeah. So, like, she's a mainstay for real. She's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, she also just has some of the best, like, I'm not going to spoil it, but she has some of the best moments in the game. Like, all of the scenes, like, all of the major scenes that she's
late.
like,
Especially late.
oh my gosh. Yeah. And when she like
all the
punches
emotions.
the Mobius guy, I thought that was epic as well. But like, I just feel like she is like the heart of that game, truly.
Yeah.
And without her, it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's my list to kick it off. All right, Max, we're back to you. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So my second fave is Makoto from Persona 5.
Someone I was wanting to
Classic.
pick.
Yeah. I called dibs
She's
on
a
Makoto.
great
I love
character.
her.
Great character.
She is also queen,
One of the
literally and
best in all of
figuratively.
Persona.
Literally. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to say, like, Persona 5 made such an impact on me. It was honestly the game that pulled me back in to JRPGs like several years ago. Because for a while, I just was not playing a lot in the genre. But then once I played that game, I was like, all right, I'm back in. They got me. And I've not really strayed from that since. But she was just always my favorite. I related to her so much, just being this like honor student, like class president, just always wanting to please everyone, wanting to please the adults, and like just kind of losing herself in the process. Like, I just felt like she was having to do all these things because she had to, because she felt like she needed to be perfect because of her family situation, to not cause trouble for her sister. She didn't want to let anyone down. And I find that relatable personally because I struggle with those same things. And so I was like, man, I totally understand this girl. But she's also just really cool. Like, she's the brawler of the party. Her persona's a bike, as Ryuji says.
So cool.
Sick.
And yeah, she's so cool. She has like the coolest design, I feel like, as a Phantom Thief as well. But her journey is really awesome too. Like, you see her kind of as like this annoying, like, know-it-all, like trying to mess with the Phantom Thieves mission at the kind of, you know, close to the start of the game. And then when she eventually joins, like, she just kind of, you know, finds a way to be herself while still like utilizing the parts of herself that are special. Like, she's very smart. And so she lends that to the Phantom Thieves cause. And she's also really strong, and she lends that too. I just love seeing her just make decisions to be herself rather than what society was telling her to be. And so I just loved everything about her in that game. And also, her romance with Joker is the best in that game. So if you haven't romanced her in Persona 5, I don't really know what you're doing.
Yeah. Who did Brandon romance?
I Who did he romance?
Brandon.
It wasn't
where
Makoto.
are you? Where'd you go? Who did
It wasn't. I don't think it was Makoto.
Okay,
And I don't.
I romanced on, and she was boring. Okay, I'll admit it. She was like mid, and then look, Kasumi. For Royal, I did Kasumi because she was the new girl, and I thought she was great. But I always wanted to romance Makoto. Okay.
Sure,
I
you
said
did.
it. All right. But
He's
I did.
only
She's
trying
best
to be
girl,
cool now,
and she
everyone.
deserves
But I
better.
can only play so many games at a time, guys. I need to finish the greatest story ever told, and then there may be room for Persona 5. Okay?
Overlord. I'm just
Unicorn Overlord.
just gonna pretend there's a soundboard. Listen, Max, you're speaking to me directly with this Persona 5 stuff because it is my favorite game of all time. I have played it multiple times, a platinum, the original, and Royal, and I've probably spent the better part of 400 or 500 hours in Persona 5 doing just all the things, and I love it. It spoke to me too, and it is one of those games that just hits so many highs on all the levels. I mean, writing, design, characters, world building, story, the way everything, the gameplay elements, UI, menus, there's no detail left unturned here. There is so much attention to detail poured into every element of this game. And Makoto is one of the best characters and one of the best games ever made. So it was a great choice. Great choice.
Thank you. And you romanced her too, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Get out of here, Mags. I see what you're doing. All right. Slam Zangel. Give us what's next.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Mithra and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I know Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is a lot of people's least favorite Xenoblade, and I have a hard time ranking them, but I love Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I feel like it is one of the best games on the Nintendo Switch. And when it came out, I was totally obsessed with it. It was deep into Xenoblade 2. It has a whole mess of tutorials. Its combat system is a little bit convoluted, but everything else there is just amazing. And so Mithra is a character that is introduced pretty late in the game, right? You don't see Mithra for quite a while. You have her counterpart, which is Pyra. And Pyra is just this very kind of empathetic and more soft-spoken, supportive character to the hero Rex, whereas Mithra is this blunt, very straightforward, and it kind of what she does to that story and how everything turns once she's introduced really is interesting. I haven't really seen that done in a Xenoblade game, or not just a Xenoblade game, but any game before, where everything just kind of, you can tell once it happens that everything was building up to this point, right? You're like, oh, now I get it, right? And then when everything turns, you're like, she is like the center point here, and she is the glue holding everything together. And once everything turns, the story takes, like, it improves heavily, in my opinion, right? I don't want to like spoil anything for anybody that hasn't like played Xenoblade 2, right? But like this, it ends up being one of the better stories told in a JRPG because of everything that happens in the lead up to that, and then everything that happens after. And I think like just her overall interactions with the whole crew and like how she kind of just runs things beyond that point it's just like really, really well done. I really liked her. I connected with her as a character, and I think she is one of the best Xenoblade characters, which is one of my favorite series of all time. So that's why she's on my list.
Man, the setup in Torna, the Golden Country too, is so freaking good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one
great
strength.
DLC.
Oh,
no, sorry.
yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, regarding Mithra, I feel like one of the strengths of Xenoblade 2 is that the story, like, once it picks up, like it really gets to the end and it doesn't lose any steam. Whereas I feel like in the first Xenoblade, it had the opposite problem, or the opposite like trait. Like the story was really good at the beginning and then it kind of loses steam at the end. And I think she's a key part of keeping the story like going through the end and like making it a very satisfying conclusion. So
Yeah, because once that happens, you're just like, oh, okay, here we go.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Xenoblade
like
one had a
Brandon
great ending. Yeah.
Does it?
I love Xenoblade 1's ending. And you know what? I would even say Xenoblade 2's ending is enhanced by everything that happens in 1. Just saying.
Well, yeah, that's
On
fair.
a scale of Unicorn Overlord to how good is it?
It's
That's a
it's
great
better
question,
than
Slam.
it's better than Unicorn Overlord because most things are. So easy answer.
Greatest story ever told.
Unicorn Overlord.
I can't wait for this to exist.
Oh man, that's gonna be so great.
Sorry, I didn't mean to trash Xenoblade's ending.
No.
I feel like
entire. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I feel like the first game, like, I don't know, the second game ended things a little better than the first game, was all I was saying. Because Mithra
I would
kind of
agree
helped
with
that.
I
Yeah.
would agree with that.
So,
I feel like Xenoblade 1 is a very cohesive story, if not a little predictable. As you progress further, you know, you can kind of see what's coming. Whereas I felt 2 and 3 had much bigger twists and turns there in the lead up to the end. So if I don't get me wrong, love Xenoblade 1's story. I think it's one of the better stories told in JRPGs. We're not trashing Xenoblade 1's story.
Brandon is not letting up over here.
We're just comparing
He looks so salty.
to the rest of the series.
We're comparing peak to peak. Like, it's not.
Like,
it's
these
fine.
are all S tier stories. We're just comparing them.
Look, listen. Maybe maybe it's just me, but I appreciated the foundation that Xenoblade Chronicles built for the rest of the series. That they couldn't exist without it, and maybe I just like the ending of 1 better than, I don't know, a harem. But maybe it's just me. It's just me.
Okay. You don't need. Okay. We don't need to go there. I don't want to go there.
They went there.
I know they went there.
Chronicles 3, they just like leaned into that. Sucker,
I wish they never went there. That was like the only thing I didn't like about that game, and I don't care if it gets me canceled to say that. Like, that didn't need to be there. That was so unnecessary. So
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm always going to prefer 1 a little bit more.
Okay.
But I love 2. And the
One
ending of 2 was
photo.
amazing. I know.
yeah.
I know. That's all it took,
okay.
though.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Oh man.
I get it.
Anyway, great game, great pick. Mithra is an amazing character. And the Xenoblade
She
series
is.
as a whole. Seriously, if you're watching us talk about this and you have not played Xenoblade,
Go play Xenoblade, obviously.
go
Play
play
it.
Xenoblade. Yeah.
So
What are you
good.
doing?
Those are almost as good as Unicorn Overlord. Like, I'm just saying.
I know you didn't just say that. I know
Usually
you
I
didn't
can
just say it. You
predict
couldn't
when
even
it's coming.
say it with a straight face because you started laughing because it's so not true. It's a lie.
Usually I know when it's coming. Usually I can feel it and predict it. That one did not expect it.
Couldn't even finish the sentence because it's such a lie. Get out of here.
All right, listen. I gotta get to my second pick, y'all.
You do.
Instead of us debating over how great Unicorn Overlord is, the greatest story ever told. Anyway, my
Unicorn
second pick.
Overlord.
My second pick is Jack freaking Russell from Radiata Stories, baby. Listen, this game does not get enough attention. I made a video about this game. It did terribly. I don't know why. It's a great video. Go watch that video.
It's a great
Go
video
watch
about
it.
a great video game.
Yeah,
What's not to like?
it's an amazing video game. But I feel like, so Jack Russell is this hilarious protagonist because most protagonists in JRPGs are like, whatever, the chosen one, or they're given this like weight of destiny and they like take it upon their shoulders and they grow and they kind of figure it out. And Jack Russell is just an idiot. Like, Jack Russell is
He's
like
just a guy. He's just Ken.
He's just a dude. Like you have this whole intro in the game where you see this like really epic dude who's like fighting a dragon and blah blah blah, and you find out that's his dad. And because of that, he just kind of assumes that he's gonna like make it, and then he like goes to Radiata Castle and is trying to become a knight, and he gets his butt kicked by Ridley, who's actually been training since she was a kid to be a knight. and he gets in anyway because of nepotism. They're like, oh, did you recognize that last name? Like, it's Russell. So he gets in, and he's just a total doofus. Like, literally one of the mechanics of the game is Jack running around and kicking people. And that's like how he gets attention. And you can like get into these hilarious battles where you like tick someone off and they're like, oh, I'm gonna get you. And then you have to try to beat him up, right? It's just like a mechanic that is an example of how doofy this guy is. And yet by the end of the game, what this character has to grapple with, it's like you don't end the game with this whole like, oh, Jack went from being an idiot to being like the greatest hero ever. Like, it's this story about this character who is an idiot who wants to be someone, who ends up getting cast out, being a nobody, having to go make friends anyway, loses some of those friends, many of them depending on what choice you make in the game, and then getting to the end and just seeing the consequences of decisions and grappling with the fact that no matter what choice you make, you can never make everybody happy. And like there's parts I can't go into the ending. I want to go into the ending for like the consequences of that, but just like
not enough people have played it, Brandon. Don't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
What if there's a remaster one day? And then everybody's like,
yes,
Radiata stories. What is this
go.
amazing game? And then you spoiled the ending for him. Don't do it.
I'm not going to spoil the ending. It makes Jack one of the most standout, unique protagonists in any game because he's so not amazing. Like he's so normal and
so not amazing. He's amazing because he's not amazing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I
Like
love
he's
it.
just
Yep.
a guy, and you just have to figure it out.
You
And
have
the
to
way
kick
they did it
rocks.
is just brilliant. Literally.
Yep.
That's right. That was in my video.
Yeah, love it.
Amazing.
So anyway, yeah, I feel like it's one of the reasons that game is so interesting and so charming to like go back and play. It's definitely humorous and hilarious, but like the more you think about what Jack the character is going through, it's so interesting. So I just wanted to shout out Jack. It's the stupidest name ever, but he's a great character. I love that guy. So shout outs to Radiata Stories.
Shout outs to Radiata Stories. I like that game too.
Yep. All right. Mags, you on 3 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, look at us
Oh
go,
man, we're
guys.
getting there. Let's go.
I know.
Yeah. Making time this week. Woo.
Yeah. What a nice change.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's not over yet.
It's gonna get out of hand so quick. You just wait.
Okay, so in the spirit of Moogle Mags, I felt like I needed to pick a character from Final Fantasy. So I know Final Fantasy 15 is a very polarizing entry in the series, and I understand why. But I do think the one thing that game gets right is the relationship between the 4 guys, the bros, the Choco Bros, whatever they're called.
The Choco Bros. Love
The
it.
Choco Bros.
The Choco Bros.
It's amazing.
Their dynamic is just so good. And it was my favorite part of the game when I played it. And it was honestly what kept me invested in the game because a lot of it was not the best, but I wanted to see how things like panned out for them. And so my favorite bro is Ignis. For several reasons. One, who doesn't love a man who can cook? I mean, it could be
Ignis
that
is
simple.
great.
New recipe.
The food in there looks phenomenal. I want to eat all
I
of
know. He's really cooking. Like, he's great.
I'm pretty sure they actually have a 15 cookbook, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
they
sure you
do.
can go buy it.
Oh, that's
yeah.
awesome. Good stuff. Well, I think he's great. Not only is he a chef, he's also the party's like tactician. He's Noctis's hand of the king or whatever. He's like his, right-hand man. But I think the best part about him is that he's just a good friend. Like, he is the definition of a ride or die friend. And you see that in the main game, but I don't think you really see it as clear as you can until you play the episode Ignis DLC. Which was my favorite part of the entire Final Fantasy. I hit my mic just now. Sorry. I love this DLC so much. It's truly my favorite part of the Final Fantasy 15 experience. Like, I know
And there's a lot.
there's a lot, and I know the DLC wasn't like, it should have been in the main game. It wasn't packaged great. I get that, but
They
that
released
DLC
10
was
movies.
so good. What?
They released like 10 movies.
I know.
Some
It was
books.
DLC. It was movies. They had like a multiplayer DLC called Comrades, which I did
Yeah.
play, and it was awesome. But anyway,
Okay.
I really liked it.
And an anime.
Yeah, and an anime. And a little mobile phone version of the game. Do you guys remember that?
Yep. That
There
came out
were
on the
multiple
Switch
phone
too.
games.
Yeah.
That came out, yeah, but this one was like literally just the game in like chibi style, like
In
the
chibi
world
form.
of the world of Final Fantasy art style, basically. Which I like
Yeah.
the world of
No,
Final
it
Fantasy
was
game
it was
too.
worse.
It was worse.
It was worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, back to Ignis.
Yeah. back to-
Because he's
let's get back on
awesome.
track.
Okay, so his DLC was the best part of Final Fantasy 15, in my opinion, because you got to see like who he really is. Like, he was always this very composed guy when he's with the other guys, but when he was by himself in the DLC, when he knew that Noctis was in danger, you kind of saw that facade fall. And he gets like very like urgent. He makes mistakes in combat. His fighting style even changes too. Like, he's more aggressive. And so there was a lot of little changes that kind of pointed at like what he was really dealing with. And then, you know, I don't want to spoil a lot, but obviously in the DLC you have a choice, and no matter what choice you make, he ends up sacrificing a part of himself for Noctis. And just seeing that play out was like really, really intense and heartbreaking, and it just made me really appreciate him as a character, because like that's a true friend. Like, he loved Noctis, and
Yeah.
like that's why he did it, because he just wanted to try to save him.
Yeah.
And the credit scene to that DLC as well was like one of the most emotional things I've ever seen. I just cried and cried, and I'm like, what is this game doing to me? I did not expect it, but I just think he's a great character. He's the best part of that game, so that's why I picked him.
This is a great pick.
Yeah.
I'm admittedly not the biggest 15 fan. I just think a lot of things are really disjointed with that game, but the characters are pretty good, and I liked Ignis as well. And it does have its moments. I did finish it because I did enjoy a lot of elements of that story. I had such high hopes for it, and it really missed the mark on a lot of the elements. And I felt it had the potential to be literally 100 times better than it was. I mean, you know, like it's not like the core world or the lore or the concept that I have issues with. It's not the characters or even the writing at times that I had issue with. It was just everything around it, and how it was just so fragmented, and how I had to, like, some things were just so confusing in the game. Oh, well, I didn't watch this movie or read this text or whatever, and that's why it's confusing. And I just don't feel like going to do that. So, you know,
Yeah.
I miss
That's
out
totally
on a lot
fair.
of
Execution.
the elements. Yeah. I
I think the
yeah.
execution could have been way better, but I still think there were some really good parts to it, at least with the characters. And so,
Yeah.
You know,
There's
agree.
definitely
It
some good
wasn't-
moments for sure.
yeah, for sure.
And I'm glad you
Yeah.
chose the cook, because that food in 15 looks incredible.
He was cooking, okay?
He was
Yeah.
cooking.
He was cooking.
Let Ignis cook.
Let Ignis cook. That's right.
Shout outs to all of our Final Fantasy 15 fans in the Discord, because we've had a lively 15 conversation in there. So another
Oh, yeah,
shout
that's
out
been
to the
fun.
Discord.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, that was a great pick.
It was.
All right,
Oh, thanks, guys.
Slam, what's your last one?
All right, so I was waffling between a lot of characters on this one. I had a hard time narrowing it down. There's just so many great characters out there, but I went with Yuffie, my favorite ninja. She's so special, holds a special place in my heart, as with many Final Fantasy VII fans out there. And she just really got her time to shine in the DLC of Remake and then in Rebirth. And every time she's on screen, she steals the show. And you can't argue it. You can't, because she's just so lively. She has so much heart. She's just got this personality that's just so cool and outgoing. And she just is like this no worries free soul that is just, you know, doing her thing. And she just loves materia. And I
Love her for that, man.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, like, she's well written, very well acted by one of my favorite voice actors out there. And I just, like I said, she steals the show every time she's on screen. And I feel like she fit right into a group of characters that is so beloved, right? In the original Final Fantasy VII, I feel like she definitely just got so much more time to shine in the remake and rebirth. And I felt that, you always are a little concerned with like this core beloved group of characters that people are so connected with when you put, another one in there and give them such a prominent role and have them appear so frequently in a game like that, how it's going to be received. And I felt like Yuffie just fit right in. I mean, like, she was just slot right in there so perfectly, and she made each of them better. She made a lot of the scenes. She improved a lot of the scenes in the game, and I love her for that.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I feel like Max also just saw the mosquito.
Yeah.
I saw
Sorry.
that reaction.
I was like, sorry, I couldn't conceal it.
I feel like too. So if I remember correctly, Yuffie and Vincent were originally supposed to be part of the core cast, but they were basically sidelined and became extra characters just due to development time in the original 7.
I believe
so.
That's
One
the
of
case,
the things
yeah.
they wanted to do in the remake, rebirth, whatever the trilogy is going to be called, is integrate these characters into the main story in the way that they had originally envisioned, and they just pulled that off so well with Yuffie.
Yeah,
like you said, I think she fits in perfectly. It doesn't feel out of place at all. It doesn't feel unnatural at all. And it adds to the cast so well. That's a great pick because she's kind of this, I want to say unsung hero of remake and rebirth. I feel like a lot of people do like her. So maybe that's too strong of a term, but I think people maybe don't appreciate enough how well they brought her into the story and how perfectly she fits.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and we talked about this with 16, and I could even put 15 in there. And a lot of the modern Final Fantasies in general just seem to stray so far away from like a lot of the lighthearted stuff, a lot of the like funnier moments, a lot of the more, fun and outgoing interactions between the characters. And with remake and rebirth, I mean, she is all about that, right? I mean, when she comes into the scene, like it's all, even when it's like a serious moment, like on the beach, whenever everything goes, awry, she's in there kind of saving the day and is like funny while she's doing it. You know what I mean? And it's just like those elements. I love her so much for that. And she's just so like casually powerful. You know what I mean? Like she's just, you know what I mean?
She's just, so good.
Yeah.
She is so good. I loved playing as Yuffie.
I know.
She is a monster.
Yeah.
An absolute monster in that
OP.
game. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, and I won't tell why, but Yuffie's going to come back in a future episode. Anyway, let's move on. Anything else to say on Yuffie before we come back?
I just need to play Rebirth.
Oh, you
Hopefully
definitely
one day.
need to play Rebirth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, you do. No,
on the
the
list.
cast, seriously, Rebirth is amazing. And I would recommend, based on what we talked last time, just like get through the story. The extra fun stuff is amazing, but that story is just so good. You have to at least get that story.
You can be like me and spend probably 50 hours of your 120-hour playthrough in Queen's Blood. You could do that. I mean, there were entire nights where I'd sit down and just play Queen's Blood for hours. It's so good.
It is really good.
Yeah.
It is really good. All right. I'm going to go with my last pick here. And that's Elaine from Unicorn Overlord. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Get out. Leave.
Unicorn Overlord.
No, I wanted to go with Ramza. I feel like Slam, you and I are like mirroring each other with like Xenoblade characters and Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I wanted to go with Ramza because, Tactics is coming out. I'm super hyped about Tactics. I have Tactics on the mind. But Ramza is such an amazing character. He gives me Link from Majora's Mask vibes, i.e. the hero that does the right thing for the sake of doing the right thing, not because he's going to be remembered. And in Tactics, that's the entire setup. The entire setup of the game is this is like the lost history of Ivalice. Like, history did not tell this story. History doesn't remember this character. But we're going to go in and we're going to experience this story, and it kind of unravels, right? That's kind of the setup. And it's one of the reasons I love going back to Tactics, and I'm super excited for the Ivalice Chronicles. But Ramza is he's just one of those classic heroes, like the hero that is more interested in doing the right thing and his integrity than he is about the manipulating the outcomes, right? And that has him stand in stark contrast to some of the other characters in the game, as you'll find out. And you have a bit of this yin yang thing going on with him and Delita, or Delita, forget how they actually pronounced it out loud. I always called it Delita. But even how those characters grow and the outcome of those characters' arcs and the impact that has on history. And it's just so interesting because I love this idea of the forgotten hero that did impact history, that did impact people, but nobody knows about him. And I love that idea because I feel like there's something inspiring in general about just being a good human being, right? Like we oftentimes forget or live in a way where we're just trying to act in certain ways so that people will see us a certain way. When in reality, like true character comes from how you act when nobody's looking. And that Ramza kind of embodies that as a hero. And it makes him so interesting. The writing in that game is so good. What he goes through is so interesting. And I feel like he is such an underrepresented hero in the Final Fantasy series because Tactics is often considered to be this kind of like side game versus like a core part of the series. But there are very few characters in the entire Final Fantasy series that can sort of live up to the standard that Ramza sets. And that's not to say anything bad about the Final Fantasy series. I love the series. I love the characters. Ramza is just so strong. He's just such a great character. So I wanted to shout that guy out. I love that guy. Super excited for this game. Went back and played War of the Lions again recently. It still was so much fun. The story is so freaking good. Like, I think people are going to be surprised if they have not played Tactics before at the story and the characters. Because it is very distinct. Yeah. But it's so good. So
I'm with you, buddy.
That's my pick. It's my pick.
Mm. Another Tactics.
Have you played Tactics, Mags?
No, I need to play that one too. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, Slam. I stole that setup away from you. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What other Tactics game you like, Brandon? What is it? Forgot.
Oh, I can't. I think it's Unicorn Overlord. That's the one. Let's go. Greatest story ever told. Okay. All right. Sorry, Max.
Okay. You guys have had so much fun. Oh, no, it's fine.
We have. It's been great. It's been so great.
I'll get my revenge one day.
I'll get my revenge one day. It'll come. Anyway, that about wraps it up. Again, there's so many other characters we could talk about. Like, I have a list. I literally have Shulk, Link, Sora, Ike.
Don't tell them all the characters, Brandon.
Yeah, we're gonna have other episodes with great characters in them.
And we will talk more about those characters. Don't worry, everybody. My point is, these are certainly not the extent of a top list that we can come up with for these heroes. There's so many great characters in games, but we would love to hear from you guys. What characters really stood out to you and spoke to you in the comments? Love to hear some of your stories. If you are willing to type that much out, let us know what character spoke to you, maybe what the context was, or jump in the Discord and continue the conversation. Because I guarantee you when this drops and our folks watch this, we're going to be having a ball in the Discord chatting about these things and probably talking again about the pros and cons of Final Fantasy 15, because I guarantee you that's going to come up again. But
such a great topic.
It is a great topic. It's worth discussing. Mm-hmm. All right. But Moogle Mags, oh, by the way, that's also a Discord thing. But Moogle Mags, where can everybody find you?
So I am Avenger Mags on Twitter and Blue Sky. And you can also find me as a staff writer for the lovely Nintendo Force magazine, which is totally worth checking out if you haven't yet. Just a great team. Great magazine about all things Nintendo. That's one of our recent issues right there. Thanks, Brandon, for the shout out.
Let's go.
But yeah, so great magazine. Love that team. Totally worth your support if you choose to. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
I'm just gonna take a second to shout this out, by the way. So
okay,
we got some of these guys. Mag sent me a couple of magazines. Oh, that's funny. Just to give me an example of what they look like. And I went through these, and if you are like me and you grew up getting Nintendo Power or Game Informer or anything like that, and you remember going through and excitedly reading about new games that maybe you missed or you forgot about that you didn't know were announced or whatever, like this is such a nostalgia trip. The fact that I have it is amazing, but reading through some of those articles by Mags were amazing, but by everybody else were so good. And they list out the games. They talk about like retro games. There's just so many cool things about this magazine. So definitely go check out Nintendo Force. I love these.
Yay.
So I'm excited to get more of them.
I ordered a
I'm so
year's
glad.
worth. It shipped. It'll be here soon. So I've got a
Yay.
lot of magazines to read coming up.
Yeah.
Thank
ordered
you guys
2
so much.
years worth.
Okay.
Okay. It's not a competition, guys. I appreciate the support.
Unicorn Overlord. Anyway, Slam, where can everybody find you?
Slam Zany, all the things. YouTube mainly. I'm also on Twitter. I just dropped a video listing my most meaningful upgrades to Trails in the Sky first chapter. These are just the upgrades that stood out to me and meant the most to me on my experience with the game, having played the original. And actually, it's been so long since I played the original. It's been at least a couple years now, which sounds like it's not that long ago, but it does feel like a lot, especially since I've played through a bunch of other Trails games up to this point. So I'm like, okay, I'm finally getting back to that first one and seeing all these things. It's just like triggers all these great memories, and it's like this nice trip down memory lane. So check out that video. Let me know what you guys think.
Sweet. And I'm Retro Brandon. You can find me on YouTube at Retro Brandon. You can find me on Twitter, X, or whatever it's called, at Nova Brand. And I just dropped a video today, actually. Well, today as of recording, on Bravely Default. A little late to the party, but I wanted to give a bit of a deeper view, a more extensive look on the game itself, but also a bit of the keycard situation and things like that. So you can check that out on my channel as well. But otherwise, thank you, everybody, for sticking around. Join us in the Discord. Seriously, it's a lot of fun over there. And we will see y'all in the next one.
See you on the next one.
Bye.
Don't worry, my beard will come back.
Burlap Brandon.
Beardless Burlap Brandon.